With a yo-ho-ho, it's Taylor the Toaster, and this is perhaps not the next video you're expecting to see on the channel. Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Light should probably start recording next month-ish, but before I can do that, I have a big job to do, and that is to play through the entirety of the game that is called
Inazuma 11 3 Lightning Bolt!
Because, like earlier on in the Team Ogre Attacks Let's Play, I made a video where I showed off every single Bomb Blast exclusive cutscene because I needed to play through the whole game as a backup save file for the main LP. Here, I don't need that backup save file, but I just want to... I just love Inazuma 11 3, right? And I want to play it again. And so, sure, I'll play through the entire game just to record about 8 to 10 minutes worth of cutscenes. There's really not going to be much to see in terms of exclusive content in Lightning Bolt, but I've never beaten Lightning Bolt before, so I want to see it for myself. And of course, we get one straight away because several months earlier, in a certain Italian town, all of the exclusive scenes in Lightning Bolt will either focus on the version exclusive team, which is Apostles from the Sky, or...
Spettacolo, Paolo! Your shooting was fantastic today! I can't wait to train with you again tomorrow. Grazie, Marco. See you tomorrow. Ciao!
Bravo, Paolo! You play football as it was meant to be played.
Fantastico, Paolo! Grazie mille. Please come to my next game. Terribile! That girl on the bridge, it looks like she might fall.
And immediately this game's showing me why I got Italian wrong for half of the Let's Play. Because he clearly, as a voice, like Paolo's voice actress, clearly says to these girls, grazie mille, but that is wrong. It is meant to be grazie mille. And so I made that mistake right in front of real Italian people because this game taught me wrong. I can't believe I've had to go into the settings just to change my run settings for this one exclusive scene, but I can't cope with holding down the B button. Now, at the moment, we are in the map screen, which serves as the Italian camp in the main game of Inazuma 11 3, and that's an entirely optional area you can't buy from this Gmart. You can simply go in. Yeah, this area is accessible in Inazuma 11 3 as the Italian camp, but it's not fully explorable. It's not mandatory to go there. You can do by unlocking it, but you're never required to, and that is probably because, yeah, they unsubtly put the exact same area in this game, except here you're meant to believe it's the real Italy. We are actually in Venice right now, playing as young Italian boy Paolo Bianchi. And so what we're meant to do with him is have a look at this young girl standing on the bridge. Attenta, be careful!
Chie? Who is that?
Can it be? Are you blind? Ciao, Paolo! Yeah, that's right. Here's the real selling point of Lightning Bolt's exclusive content. You get to see Blasi the goalkeeper in a vest.
Cosa fai? What are you doing with this girl, Paolo? Could this be amore?
That's Italian for love. Ciao, Gigi. No, this girl is about 8 years old.
Allora, bring her to training with you. The trial match to decide who will play for Italy is very soon. Both of us have to make the team. Then we will aim for world number 1.
World number 1? Davvero? Are you great football players?
Sì, certo. We sure are.
I wonder. There are better players than us. They are out there somewhere. I know it. And here they are. We cut straight to Mark Evans and his motley crew. But yeah, so straight away, that's pretty much the only controllable exclusive scene that we get as Paolo Bianchi. The rest are just cutscenes, and not even cutscenes in the animated sense, just, you know, scenes that play themselves out in various bits of Italy. But I am going to cut to the next one. That one was obviously right at the beginning of the game. This next one is pretty much 20 minutes later. Okay, so the next cutscene exclusive to Lightning Bolt comes after you pick either Mark or Jude's Team of 11 for the FFI selection match, and then you do your second random encounter in the whole game as a united force. We skim through some dialogue, and then it's going to cut to a scene about Paolo Bianchi and friends. And remember, if you're playing Bomb Blast, you'll be getting cutscenes about Hector Helio at the exact same place. Or if you're playing Team Ogre Attacks, then there's Team Ogre and Canon Evans cutscenes, but they're scattered around different places. So back in Italy, which is again just the Italian pitch from later on in the game, but this time you're meant to believe it's the real one.
Oh, that was a tough training session. Shall we head back together, Paolo?
Scusa, Gigi, I have something I must do. Caspita, you have another date, Paolo? Si, you are right, Marco. Ciao. He literally just admits to going on a date with like an 8-year-old child. Sure, just pass it off. Allora, it was the last kick of the game and I scored the winner. It was a great match.
That's not true, Paolo. You are an amazing player.
No so. I am not so sure. There are better players than me out there. But I will show you. I will play in the Football Frontier International and become the best player in the world.
Football sounds so fun. One day I want to see it for myself.
I hope so too, Lucia.
Allora, I must go. The doctor will check my eyes. Ciao, Paolo.
Ciao, Lucia. How can I help Lucia? What can I do for her? Now I find that one particularly interesting because even though the first half is just in the Italian pitch, I don't recognise that area where they're talking now with the fountain. I could believe that being an otherwise unused map screen, which is used only for that cutscene in Lightning Bolt, which is pretty cool. And after you complete the selection match and learn who's going to be on your team in Inazuma National, so we're roughly at part 5 of the Let's Play by now, we have our first meeting with Minion and the other people of Team Zulan, and then it cuts away to a few days previously in Italy, who are going through roughly the same situation, learning who's going to be on the team. Stai bene, Lucia? Are you alright? I heard you had injured your leg and were in hospital. This is really such a bad luck.
It was an accident. It cannot be helped. They say I will be able to walk again soon.
Per favore, Lucia, will you consider having the operation on your eyes? Do not worry about money. I will take care of it. When I am a professional footballer, I will be able to pay it back.
Grazie mille, Paolo, but it is not the money that is the problem. I am so afraid of having surgery on my eyes.
Ascolta, Lucia. If there is even a tiny chance this operation will restore your sight, you must do it. I want you to see football for yourself.
Grazie, Paolo.
Let's make a promise to each other, Lucia. If I win the FFI, you will have the operation. Promesso?
Promesso, I promise.
I am happy, Lucia. I mean, you don't win the FFI. Just putting that out there. But she does have the operation anyway, without you just throwing all your money away and paying it for her. Don't make promises you can't keep, mate. You know how much surgery costs? Lucia, se la farò. I will keep my promise. You don't. Now it is time to take on the world. Paolo and his team sailed through the qualifiers and claimed their place in the finals. And while this was going on, countries all over the world were sending their own teams to the first ever FFI tournament. And yeah, so that's going to be the last of the Paolo Bianchi exclusive scenes for a while. The next one is at the end of Chapter 4. For perspective, right now we are at the very start of... I think we're at the very end of Chapter 1 still. But it's okay, because before we get to that, I have made a slight discovery on this game that I want to show off. And so that is the next thing you're going to see. Well, sort of. There's also one other thing I'm going to show before we get to my minor discovery, which will come at the end of the Qatar match. But first of all, every single chapter ends with a little end card thing, and it looks slightly different in all three versions of the game, so you might as well see an example of one in Lightning Bolt. The coming up preview is exactly the same in all three versions. It just makes it awkward for me to talk over it because Mark's clearly speaking.
Coffee Chapter 2, The Secret of the Cursed Coach. What? We're not allowed to train?
Yeah, it's for your own good, mate. Anyway, yeah, look, it's the same thing as always, but it's got the Lightning Bolt logo on it. Anyway, I shall see you at the end of the Qatar match. And so here we are at the end of the Qatar match, because something I discovered while rehearsing for this video is that there are plenty of matches in this game, as I'm sure you're aware, that you have to do a certain move at some point in the match. For example, in Qatar, you're required to do Tiger Drive by going for a goal with Austin. With Australia, you have to score with Hurley Kane using the Typhoon, for example. They're story-required goals, and you're supposed to set them up manually. But what happens if Austin Hobbs, despite being on the pitch, never touches the ball even once? Well, I suppose he touched the ball there. But look at this. He's just done a throw-in. He hasn't gone anywhere near the goal in this particular match because I've been consciously avoiding it. But in the event that you do mess up that badly, turns out Inazuma 11's pretty generous. As long as you're winning the match, you don't automatically fail. He just does it at the very end of the match. 30 minutes 40, the very end. Austin Hobbs just magically scores out of nowhere. So I think the Qatar match, it might be... I don't know what happens if you were to, say, finish the match with a 0-0 scoreline. Then it would be a different question as to whether or not you automatically do that goal. But this match is basically unlosable because I always thought the challenge was getting the goal with Austin, but clearly that's just an automatic process. You don't even have to try, and well done to Dyram, who's leveled up. If you're required to get him in the game, I might as well give him a go on the real team. Anyway, so the next Lightning Bolt exclusive cutscene is at the very end of Chapter 4, after you beat the South Korea match. No, it wasn't, because he wasn't even trying. And so, South Korea's Fire Dragon have been vanquished at the very end of Chapter 4. So we head to the airport. Jordan is off the team now. We've got Kevin and Samford in his place. So I can't believe it. Jordan's gone again. I have to be salty again. But it's made up for because we get the Lightning Bolt exclusive scene about Paolo Bianchi in roughly the same scenario as Inazuma Japan right now. An airport in Italy. Or if you look really closely, it's quite clearly just the Leocott airport. But, you know, they weren't going to make a brand new airport just for this. Do not adjust your TV set. That is the roar of thousands of expectant Italian fans. They have gathered today to give the Italian team Orpheus a send-off to remember.
Ciao, Paolo.
Ciao, Lucia. You came. How is your leg?
It still hurts a little, but I wanted to be here today.
Grazie, Lucia. We will win the FFI. I promise you that. I want you to have the operation. You still haven't backed down on paying for it for yourself, Paolo. You know how much surgery costs? 'Cause it's a lot. Someone who might be able to afford it, though. Who's that in the bottom right?
Allora, Paolo, it is almost time to go.
Va bene. Ciao, Lucia. It's alright, she'll come to Leocott anyway. Forza Orpheus, alle Italia! And then they'll get out on the other side of the airport into an identical area.
Grazie. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. D is not going to say anything, but he's there at least. We get an exclusive movement pattern from him in Lightning Bolt.
Allora, Paolo, you know who will join us later in Leocott, giusto?
See, that is what he said. Until he returns, we must keep the spirit of Orpheus alive. We are relying on you, Paolo. I know you won't let us down. I will not let you down. Now, let us go. Forza! We will be #1 in the world. We can do it. So the next Lightning Bolt exclusive scene is not long after the previous one at all. You get one at the end of Chapter 4, and then you basically get one at the very beginning of Chapter 5. As soon as Jack Wallside gets mugged, and we meet Paolo Bianchi in person for the first time to recover the wallet, we get another Lightning Bolt exclusive scene, except it's not about Paolo at all. It's the Apostles from the Sky. Accursed humans! Why must they disturb our peace so? This FFI, it is meaningless. Why do they persist with such petty distractions? What is thy wish, Sanctus? Shall we proceed immediately with our mission? No, there is time yet. Let them have their amusement. We shall see for ourselves how deeply they deserve our divine judgment. Yeah, it's still really weird watching these angels act evil. I don't get it. Bombblast got the better exclusive team, in my opinion, just because they actually make sense being evil. But unfortunately for me, that exclusive scene at the beginning of the Chapter 5 is the last for a long time. The next one is towards the end of Chapter 9. Frigging 2 weeks later. Yes, I can record again. So it is true. The humans came to this land with the sole intent of sowing the seeds of conflict. Unforgivable. Foolish mortals. They must be subjected to divine judgment before it is too late. Calm thyself. Now is not the time. We have more important duties to attend to. But take heed, humans, if you should ever think to taint this holy land again. The sword of heavenly justice shall fall upon thee. I completely forgot what all three of their voices sound like, and it's been 2 weeks since I last recorded, and I've got a cold, so I hope that didn't sound too bad. Yeah, so I beat Lightning Bolt. The final boss is very, very tough when you're under-leveled, but I managed to do it by 3-1 thanks to giving Caleb Stonewall Jetstream. And so, as you can see, the credits are slightly different. They're green instead of being red or blue as they would be in the other games. But that's the only difference. It's still instrumental Margie Bomb, or at least that's what also plays in Bomb Blast. Can't quite remember what the credits play in Team Ogre Attacks, but I have to consciously talk over it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So, well, thanks very much for watching the Lightning Bolt video. It is a little bit unfortunate to find out that while Bomb Blast had an exclusive scene in Chapter 9 about Hector Helio feeling he was going to get overshadowed by Mark, and then in Team Ogre Attacks it's replaced by Team Ogre trying to taunt Hector Helio, Lightning Bolt doesn't have an equivalent to that scene. It offered nothing in response, which is a pity, but I didn't get my hopes too high. And so that's that for Lightning Bolt. So the next video on the channel should hopefully be the start of Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Light. TTFN!
Hey,
Mark, do you remember me? Or maybe you know me better as Janus.
Mark, it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
What do you want? Get lost!
Here we go! Look out, world! 4-star bugs coming through!
Well, look who it isn't.
No, I'm Austin Hobbs! I'm pleased to meet you! Wow! Cam! Huh? We are taking on the world! And now it's gonna stop us! Snow! Angel!